My name's Liz Moffat. I'm the Community Outreach Librarian with Stirling Council Libraries, which manages the Outreach Services Department, and that's a service to the housebound, the homes, residential homes, the prison, and anybody really who can't get to the library in a traditional sense. I'm also the volunteer manager in Outreach Services for around 30 volunteers in housebound service. And they help us make up collections for readers and also go out and deliver to the housebound. The housebound volunteers come in and they look for books for the housebound readers, following a profile that we have already made up, saying what type of books the readers want, large print, audiobooks, what genre they want, murders or family sagas. And they have a vital role with the library service, because we have around 300 housebound readers, and it would be very difficult for us as a small team to go out and deliver to these readers. The housebound volunteers are part of a larger volunteer project within Stirling Council and Stirling Council Libraries. We have volunteers helping people get onto computers in the libraries with our Taste IT sessions. We have archives volunteers. We have volunteers helping with Chatterbooks during the Summer Reading Challenge and helping children. So we have around 46 volunteers in total, but 30 of them are housebound volunteers. The volunteer comes in and chooses books for the reader, and we organise them under a geographic area. So if a reader comes to us from, say, Bannockburn, we have a volunteer in that geographic area that we can put the reader on, and the volunteer will come in, choose books for that reader following the profile that we've made up, and then take the books out to that reader and up to around 10 to 12 readers and deliver them to them. And not only are they delivering the books, but they're also building up a relationship with the readers, because these are readers who are confined to their home and maybe don't see many people during the day. So they build up a relationship with their readers and become their friend, really. In my experience as a volunteer manager, I found that because the volunteers are dealing with an elderly age group, they have them on their books for a long time, and the relationship grows, and they can sometimes see a deterioration in the health of that elderly reader. And because they're going out on their own to the reader, it's sometimes difficult for them to recognise what's happening and to pass that on to us and refer that to us. So I would say that would be a slight challenge for the volunteer. But since going for the Investing in Volunteer award and going through that whole process and looking at training, we now, if any training comes up for dementia services perhaps, or anything like that, referrals onto other services, we offer that to the volunteers. So we offer a training programme if they want it.
My name's Rebecca and I work for Volunteer Scotland. I also volunteer for my local library service as a housebound volunteer, and that means I go into people's houses who can't get to the library and take books out to them. I've done that for about 15 years. I was looking around for something to do, volunteering wise, and I saw a poster up in the library. I've always been a big supporter of the libraries and I'm a big book reader, and I thought that if I couldn't get to the library, if I couldn't get reading materials, that would really affect my life. So I decided to sign up to do that and get books out to people that couldn't get to the library themselves. I do it once a fortnight, and I've usually got anything up to about 10 to 12 people on my run. But because I've been winding down recently, I've had less and less in the last few years. But the average would be somewhere between 10 and 12 readers normally. I didn't really expect to get the kind of appreciation I got for just doing such a very small thing. Sometimes over the years when I've gone out, if there's a bit of snow or something on the ground, the readers greet you like you're Scot of the Antarctic and you've just gone really out of your way to deliver a service to them. So that's been really unexpected. It's been a real eye-opener as well in terms of what happens to people in the community as they get older, as their health deteriorates, and how they cope or don't cope, and how much that's dependent on what kind of support network they've got around them. And I've seen people that are very well supported by their families and their friends, and then I've seen people who are basically left by all the services because they don't have a support network around them. And that's a really sad thing to see, and it's quite difficult to deal with. So you see the sort of whole spectrum of what happens to people as they get older.
Well, you've been coming here, Rebecca, before year 2000. I just don't remember when, but you came every fortnight and I could depend on you. And well, we had a little chat when you came in, and I got to like you. And can I say I'm sorry that you're going? I'm very sorry that you're going.
I'll still see you though.
Well, I'm glad that. And it's not just the books, but it's the idea that somebody's coming in, someone you know.
Yeah.
It's. I feel sometimes it's perhaps part of the caring.
Yeah, absolutely.
The books I like, well, the murder books I like, they're more interesting, well, some folk may like love books and that, but I don't like love books, I like the murder books.